Dissociation of sensibility. This is a literary term used by T.S Eliot in his essay, The Metaphysical Poets. Dissociation of sensibility is a term coined by T.S Eliot to describe the separation of thought and feeling in poetry. Eliot argued that the metaphysical poets of the 17th century had a mechanism of sensibility that allowed them to express their thought as immediately as the odor of a rose. However, this mechanism was lost by later poets, who could not fuse thought and feeling in their poetry. Let's break it down with a simple example. In the old days, poets used to blend their thoughts and feelings together like mixing colors on a palette. It was like having a delicious smoothie where all the flavors were perfectly blended. But then, some poets started separating their thoughts and feelings like putting different toppings in separate bowls. So, you might have a bowl of strawberries, feelings, and a bowl of bananas, thoughts, but they're not mixed anymore. This separation is what we call dissociation of sensibility. It's like missing out on the yummy blend of flavors. The poem doesn't feel as rich or exciting because the thoughts and feelings are kept apart. Eliot argued that in the poetry of the metaphysical poets, such as John Donne and George Herbert, there was a harmonious integration of thought and feeling, where intellectual and emotional elements were united seamlessly. These poets were able to blend abstract and complex ideas with deep emotional expression within a single poem. However, Eliot believed that in the following centuries, this unity began to fall. He argued that there was a growing separation between the intellect and the emotions in poetry. Poets were no longer able to combine intricate intellectual ideas with genuine emotional experience as effectively as the metaphysical poets had. Dissociation of sensibility refers to the way in which intellectual thought was separated from the experience of feeling during the 17th century poetry. At that time, poets expressed different kinds of the thoughts and emotions separately. For such poet, falling in love or reading love poem would be two different experiences and would remain different in their poetic expressions. They would have nothing to do with each other. As a result of such dissociation of sensibility, language became refined but feeling became more crude. For example, the feeling expressed in Gray's Elegy or any poem of Tennyson on Browning, poets of the dissociation of sensibility, is cruder than To His Coy Mistress, of Andrew Marvell, a poet of unified sensibility. Dissociation of sensibility set in the 17th century, which is aggravated by Milton and Dryden. It raised the birth of sentimentalism as is observed in P.B. Shelley and other romantic poets. It paved the way for the philosophical theory in poetry and made the poets reflective. But such poets are inferior to the intellectual poets, poets of unified sensibility.
If you like my video, then like, comment and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section which type of video do you want in future.